Hey, what's up? It's Caden, and I'm here to tell you about how I came out and when I knew I was trans. I think I'll start with how I knew I was trans. Actually, I didn't know of the term trans until I was about 16 or 17. Actually, no, I was like 15 years old. And before that, I told my mom that I was a lesbian, and she was like, okay, I can still accept that and stuff. And then, couple years later, I came out and I told her I wanted to be a boy. Actually, I've been telling her that I wanted to be a boy since I was about 2 years old. And when I told her when I was about 15, she said I've been saying that for a long time, and she knows that I'm not like pretending or anything, and she wants to know what she can do about it, how to help me out and stuff. So I found it kind of weird because my mom's like go hard Christian kind of woman, you know the type. Uh, so she's been adjusting, like I said in my last video. So it wasn't really a big deal in that kind of way. Yeah. So I got on the internet and I started looking for what it's like, what it means if you want to be a boy or that kind of stuff. And it was like, oh, it's transgender, it's this, it's that, and I started looking into that, and I was like, hey, this is me, and so I started looking more into it. I started finding ways to like deal with that, like binders and such. So yeah, I started looking for ways to get my first binder and do this because before I'd been binding with like ace bandages and duct tape and medical tape, and it really hurt. So I bought my first binder and uh, looked around on the internet and made my first packer, and I started going about that way of things. And like as far as coming out, uh, first I told my sisters, and I have two sisters. I have Alicia and I have Cher. Cher's actually my stepsister, and she at first she named me Cameron, and I went by Cameron for a long time, and then uh, I met a girl. I met Tegan, and that was my girlfriend. She's still my girlfriend actually, and her mom. It was a long distance relationship, but it still is. Her mom freaked out. She didn't accept that and stuff. So I, we renamed me Caden, and that's how Caden came about. Um, it's still pretty weird to be called Caden over Cameron, but I guess it's something I have to get used to. Um, it's been like a few years. So like coming out, I've been coming out a little at a time. I came out to my friends, and they were fully accepting, and everyone was okay with it. My family, my grandma, she's accepting. The only person who doesn't really know is my dad, and I only see him about once a year, and that's like no big deal because he's always like, "Oh, you dress like this now," and I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Okay, well, that's the way you choose to dress," and I'm like, "Yeah." So I guess telling him was like never really on my mind. Like it's not something that is like essential to my life. Telling my dad. So most important person to me to tell was my grandma because she's like the most important person to me. Like period. My grandma's my life. And then there's my mom, and then my sisters, and my brother Jeffrey. But you know, that's my brother. He's always there for me. We're just alike. That's my brother. So he was really accepting of it. No one has ever really minded. So you know, that's how it is. Well, that's about it. So yeah.